Fraud can best be described as the deliberate use of misrepresentation, deception, or dishonesty to deprive in order to achieve a personal gain or damage to another. If you believe that the deceased's will does not reflect their true intentions, it may be possible to challenge the will on the basis that it's fraudulent. There are many ways in which a will can be fraudulent. For example, where the deceased's signature has been forged, where the deceased has been asked to sign a document not knowing that it's actually a will, where the deceased's will has been deliberately destroyed or altered without the deceased's consent, and also where the beneficiaries have made false representations to the deceased in order to influence the contents of his will. This is known as fraudulent calumny. When challenging a will, it's always very important to consider what will happen to the estate if the claim is successful. If the will is deemed fraudulent, it will be declared invalid. That would mean that the estate will pass in accordance with any earlier valid will, and if there isn't an earlier valid will, in accordance with the intestacy rules. It is for the person contesting the will to prove that it's fraudulent. Fraudulent will claims are very difficult. An allegation of fraud is a very serious allegation to make, so the court requires very compelling evidence. The difficulty is the key witness, the deceased, is no longer alive to give evidence, so often it's the attesting witness's evidence and evidence of a forensic handwriting expert that's key. There are no time limits for claiming a will is fraudulent, however legal advice should be sought as soon as possible. If we think you have grounds for claiming the will is fraudulent, a caveat should be entered at the probate registry to prevent the issue of the grant. If a grant's already been issued, you can still challenge the will, however steps may need to be taken urgently to protect the assets in the estate. If you believe a will may be fraudulent, you should seek specialist legal advice from your trusted legal advisor as soon as possible.